Today we talk about limiting beliefs and the labels that we put on ourselves and ways that we can release some of that. Hi, I'm Brooke Lyons. A few years ago, I lost 50 pounds and finally got my life back. I've uncovered the tools that allowed me to keep the weight off and help hundreds of my clients also lead a healthy and vibrant life. Losing weight is only the beginning, and being happy and healthy is so much more than just a number on the scale. So join me as we discover how to thrive beyond weight loss. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Thrive Beyond Your Weight Loss. I'm Brooke Lyons.
I'm Victoria. And today I kind of wanted to start off. So I've heard you say kind of a lot, whether it's to clients, patients, or just in general here, that you just kind of a while back accepted that you're just going to be the fat grandma.
I talk about this all the time.
I just want to put out there, Matthias and I are not having kids anytime soon. But
I have chiropractic grandkids. So I'm okay. I'm all taken care of.
For the time being.
2 grandsons. Yeah.
But the question that I kind of chose today was referring to someone. She emailed in and she said, she heard you say that you just accepted that you were going to be the fat grandma, and she feels that resonated with her, that she feels like she's the fat grandma. Right. And just I, growing up, didn't really ever, I never viewed you as fat or the fat grandma. Well, I wasn't thinking about you as a grandma in high school. But that never
50
really.
pounds more on me.
Yeah, that didn't really, you were my mom. You were beautiful. You were my mom.
Amazing.
I loved you.
Isn't it amazing how we have so many ideas about ourselves that we put on ourselves that nobody put there? I mean, and, I want to have a tenderness about being fat grandma is not a problem unless you think it's a problem. And I was waking up. I could hardly walk when I woke up. I couldn't walk down the stairs. I was tired after dinner. I was maybe I wasn't in bed, but it's only because I was fighting to spend some time with your dad and you guys. But I was exhausted all the time. And, I can see now how I was walking myself down that path, because when you own your business, very often it becomes that there's only 24 hours in a day and you only work so many hours, and I see patients my whole hours. So I'm not working on the computer or sending things to, if we're doing a new campaign, I got to do that when I get home because I don't have time at work.
Yeah.
And so I can see over the years how I've done that all the time. And so when I hit menopause, I really didn't have many symptoms. I had a little hot flashes, but the weight started to pound on. And it wasn't 50 pounds just like that. It was 30 pounds because I'd already gained 25-ish. And so it had been coming on, but I don't know, I'm tall, so I could get away with it. But then I had the symptoms, I couldn't live with it anymore. And so when I don't know if I've told this story before, but I was out to lunch. We have a group of girls that we go out for lunch or coffee, we try once a month. Sometimes it's once every 6 months. Depends on what's going on in all our lives. So anyways, we were, and when you get together with your friends, everybody kind of goes around the circle. Somebody starts and then everybody kind of follows in. Well, I couldn't wait my turn, and I just blurted out, I don't know, I can't live this way. I guess I'm just going to be fat grandma. And I say it like that because I was bawling and I was embarrassed, and I'm in a coffee shop with my friends, and they're like, what's wrong with Brooke? Because I feel like sometimes I got my stuff together. They're my friends for a long time, so they know that life has never been perfect. Yeah. But I don't usually lose it in a public space like this. And I was ugly crying. And of course, they have no idea what to say. So one of my friends is like, you just need to know your why. And I'm like, F you with the why.
Yeah.
It's not my why. I know what I want to be.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it because I didn't understand my physiology. And I'm a doctor. I've been practicing for 25 years.
Yeah.
But we know how the body, all the pieces of the body, but we don't necessarily how that works, especially with changes of hormones. So that's what I needed, some education and some skill about, because it's so easy now. You're even doing the program at 22. You're not doing it for the same reasons, but you're getting the same results. You're feeling vibrant again. Tell me what you're feeling.
Like I said last episode, my face cleared up.
Yeah.
I never really felt tired. It wasn't like I wasn't doing it because I felt tired or anything.
Yeah.
But I'm fitting into pants that I haven't fit in since high school.
That's awesome. Thank goodness you kept them, because we don't really keep clothes. We usually pass them on. And
they're my first pair of Levi's, okay?
Oh,
and
I didn't know that it was Levi's.
Yeah. My first pair of Levi's.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We're big secondhand shoppers here, too. I'm sure they weren't secondhand, but
they were not.
I want to just
It was a birthday present.
Oh, nice. Very nice. So where did I get this thought, right? Like I thought at the time.
Well, it's not even a thought. I was going to say it's a limiting belief because it's the way that you think about it, because someone could be like, I'm fat grandma. Like but you were like, I'm fat grandma.
I don't want to be. Yeah, it was not what I wanted. And so what you want is different. So you have to make that decision. But if we don't feel good in our body, even if you're tiny, I've had tiny people, I'm like, wow, you are not here for weight loss, are you? And they're like, no, I know I'm dying. There's something wrong with me. And I'm like, have you seen your medical doctor about that?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, and there's nothing wrong with me, but I know there's something wrong with me. Listen to your little voice.
Yeah.
They weren't wrong. They were walking themselves towards diabetes or something was going wrong. But once they got health because they got the right foods in their body, fruit, vegetable, meat, and healthy fat, then their body started to make a different result. You can't I've said it before, you can't put syrup down your gas tank. Your car won't work. And you'll spend a lot of money cleaning out that vessel because it had syrup put down it. Our body's gracious with us. It lets us do some stuff that we know we should not be doing. But don't do that. Don't keep going through drive-through or skipping meals or not eating what you should be eating and expecting the result that is health and wellness and feeling good.
Yeah.
Like we just got to stop that mindset, because what we do really does create what we have and think and say. But so I was thinking about this. Where do we start thinking these things about ourselves? Like social media, some people can't even be on it because it hurts them so much. Because when they see somebody else having a great life, they're like, oh, my life sucks. Meanwhile, they're getting ready to do like some volunteer work and they're changing people's lives. Or maybe they didn't have kids, but they're teachers and they're doing, each one of us, if I have 5 minutes with you, I can find your things like that. That's one of my superpowers. I don't see this negativity that you think about yourself. It always shocks me when people come in my room and they're like, I can't do this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but you do it here.
Yeah.
Of course you can. You've even shown me evidence that you do that. You are smart and capable, and that helps a lot with people.
Yeah.
But I think, if we could just spend a few minutes like that, doing the 6 pillars we keep talking about, it's on the website. Go ahead and grab that if you haven't. Do it if you have it and you haven't done it. Because then it says, like, why do I feel this way?
Yeah.
If I'm not a 10 in all my levels, well, why?
Well, what are some of your more, like, because not everyone can relate to feeling like fat grandma.
Of course, yeah.
So what are maybe some of your other ones? Because I have a couple, but what are some of yours?
Well, I think I talked about some of them, just not feeling good. Like when we wake up, we should be vibrant and refreshed.
I'm talking about limiting beliefs.
Oh, limiting beliefs.
That you put on yourself that maybe.
Shit. Do we have days? It's never ending.
Yeah. But some of the big ones, maybe whether that was when you were starting your business or.
Oh, yeah, like that. Just give me a topic. We're all the same, right? I don't know if I can do this. I've never had a successful business that does this before. Can I manage my family and my big dreams at the same time?
Yeah.
And part of it, the producers that are with us today, putting up the cameras and setting all this stuff up, it was even scary to hire them because it's a big investment financially. And I'm like, I don't even know if I could fill the shoes that they have for me. And they're like, just keep walking, Brooke. You're fine.
Yeah.
Like, keep on doing it. And so surrounding myself with good people who see more than I even see is part of what we need to do in our life. But that reminds me, it's not quite the story, but I don't know if you remember this when we were in the house that we're in now. We've lived there for like 15, 16 years. But you were little and you were sitting on the bed in our bedroom. And we have this giant mirror there. And I was trying on clothes for something, don't remember what, probably some speaking engagement. And I remember like the clothes not fitting me quite the way I wanted to. And there you were just like living your life, sitting on my bed, hanging out with me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is this? Like, why do I have to look like this?
Yeah.
And pretty sure that was basically the words that I said. And I'm just like beating myself up because I look great, but I'm not quite 22 years old anymore. And I've had babies by now and a life and stress and all the things. And I'm really criticizing myself in the mirror. And I did it all the time. And another one of these great stories, when I stopped doing that and realized what I was doing, all of a sudden I saw your sweet little face. And the horror, you were like, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Like, None of that is true. You knew, and thank God again, with the blessing of my little children's faces, I'm going to cry again. Your face said to me, see what I deal with?
Continue.
Thank you for being you. Because that look on her face was what I needed to see, because I didn't realize how mean I was being to myself. That was just random conversation I had with myself every day in the mirror. You suck. You look terrible. Like, why do you even bother wearing clothes? Like, nothing's going to look good on you. These are thoughts I had. These are thoughts that people in my space have every single day. And I'm trying to say, if you have those thoughts, it's like asking a good question. I did a program on this once. If you're asking a question, what is that question? Think about the question you'd like to know about yourself. Think about that. I don't need to know. Just think. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. Think long enough. So usually it's, if we're having a bad, I should have given a parameter to that. Something going wrong in your life, what's the question you ask? Usually, what's wrong with me? Why can't I figure this out? Everybody else has a perfect life. Why does my life suck? Do you know what the answers to all those negative questions are? Another negative. What's wrong with you? This, that, and the other thing. You can't do this. You've never been successful at that. Your husband probably doesn't like you. Your kids hate you. You're a piece of shit. Sorry. But it's true. That's what we think.
Sorry.
But that's because I asked what's wrong with me. Or why can't I do this? Because you're never on time, because you know that you suck at this. Oh, God. I mean, I could probably go on and on. I don't need to. We already know what they are. If you ask that question, you will get a negative answer. But if you say, hey, like, reframe that. So what can I do to do this differently?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
that's a different answer.
And I feel like not every, like, limiting belief is going to be, like, answered with a negative. Like, my biggest one growing up was, I'm a talker. Okay, everyone knows that I'm a talker. I don't think you can name a single parent-teacher conference where a teacher did not mention that I was a talker. But it was never mentioned in a nice way.
Right.
And that's one of my best qualities. I can talk to anyone. I can, like...
Here we are on a podcast.
Exactly. But it was never, like, mentioned in a positive light, which so easily, like...
Could have been reframed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Reframing is our job as human beings. Because if somebody, I used to say to people, if somebody, because I used to dye my hair red, and I was doing that on purpose.
And had a bob.
And I had a really short hairdo, which I might have again one day. But I just decided easy button for me was not dyeing it anymore, not worrying about it at all. And so, but when I dyed it red, if you said, boy, you have red hair, I've been like, thank you so much, because I pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like, I should keep this beautiful red, not like a weird red. That matches my skin tone. So that would have been a compliment. Well, my little boy came out with red hair, and he always felt like it was a negative.
She thought I was gonna have a red hair and be a boy.
I thought she was a boy also.
She thought it was a boy with red hair.
And I documented, like, I wrote in my journals about this little redhead boy, and then
I'm a blonde
I had a
girl.
Blonde girl, and I was so
now
shocked.
I'm brunette.
Until the next pregnancy, where I did have that little boy. So I was just dreaming about, but that's kind of part of my life. These things happened to me. But that I thought was weird and bad about me. That's what. But it ends up being a superpower. Because sometimes even with clients, I can say, like, are you feeling blah, blah, blah? And they're like, how do you know that? I don't know. I don't know. But I don't care, because it helps them have a release that they needed to have. And I'm not a psychologist, but, you learn to ask a lot of questions if you're going to be a good physician. Because what I tell you to do is not what you're going to do. If I ask you questions and we're like, so what's your easy button on food prep? They'll be like, oh, well, I wonder if I could blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
If I just tell you that stuff, you won't do it because it was my idea. So a good counselor in any ways asks questions. But anyway, so yeah, when things are going wrong, or things not even wrong, because I don't love right and wrong, because when God's conspiring in my favor, that means even the things that feel wrong have a nugget. There's something that's being shown to me and presented. And we've talked about this a lot. Like, either the tap is there and I'm like, oh, yes, I should change that maybe, get back into my morning routine and making my breakfast the night before. Or it'll be like, whack, 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 because then I'm hungry and I'm, maybe I piss off a client or something because I was grouchy. I don't know. Like, it hasn't happened, but it can. Or it's like I'm getting booted in the head with a steel toe. What's that?
Can I
Can I do that? I love you too. But then, we listen to these, like in another episode, we talked about your body's always talking to you. We just don't know how to read the signals. So if you're bloated or you're tired or you don't feel right, there's something going on with your body because that's not how we were built to be made. We weren't made this way. But we do things that make it that way. So the question is, what can I do to get a different result? You need to know first what you want.
Yeah.
It's always what you want. So that 6 pillars will help you focus on what you want because it'll tell you what you're not getting in your life. And you'll be like, oh, so I need to look at connection. Like I don't feel connected with my people anymore. So the question isn't what's wrong with me. Why don't I have more friends? Or why are my friends always drunk and I don't want to do that anymore? Because that happens. People will come in and all their friends drink all weekend and they're like, but I'm not going to do that. How do I even live?
Yeah.
I had a lady who called me a week after starting her program because she's like, I hate my life. I'm not doing anything anymore. And I'm like, why?
Well,
why?
When I started the program, I have a friend who I go out with every Saturday. It's our thing. We like to dance. Yeah. And when I started the program, I was like, okay, no alcohol.
Right.
And so I did have one single shot drink.
Yeah.
But holy crap, the things you notice
at
a bar when you're the sober one.
Did you know that's how I met your dad?
Oh my, yes, because you thought he was drunk. But he wasn't. But wow, the things I'm like, oh, okay.
So you can imagine how impressed I was when I found out he wasn't drunk, but he was just fun and funny and nice. Like.
But it's great people watching.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
1,000%.
Right. Well, but I mean, you don't have to quit all your alcohol to succeed in your health program.
I just wanted to see how my body would feel.
And that's, I mean, to be honest, if you're trying to lose weight, drinking all that sugar, it processes not a great idea.
I drink tequila sodas and I don't ever get hungover. But once starting the program, I drank 2 single shot tequila sodas and I woke up with a horrible hangover. See? That's never happened to me.
So that's your body saying, I don't like that. You can do it to me every weekend, but you're going to have this result. Don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Or did I not have enough food in me? Or did I need more hydration before or after? Did I need more fats in my body? Like, I don't know that you'd be that gung-ho on trying to figure out how to drink alcohol. But if you are...
We are in Wisconsin.
We are.
If any state is going to do it, Green Bay is the drunkest city in the U.S., I'm pretty sure. Awesome. So...
I think literally we have been voted that. But anyways, but that's beside the point. Ask about a question. So if you find yourself asking yourself questions that are getting you a negative answer, then that's not the question to ask. I beg of you, think about that differently, and just be like, okay, so how could I change that? Use that. Just use those words. Yeah. How could I change that? Right, and then you can get creative of it. I used to teach a course that I would have mostly women in the room. Actually, I think only ever women were attracted to it. And I would have them write down all the things that are going wrong in their life. And you should see the pushback you get on that. Like, you were supposed to make us feel better. I'm like, well, you have to know what's wrong.
You have to start at the beginning.
All right? Like, how full is that vessel of all the crap?
Yeah.
You want me to put some good in there and think it's going to, like, not poison the well with all the rest of the stuff?
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I'd have them write down all the things. And sometimes I'd be like, they'd write their first 2, and I'd be like, we're doing this for 10 minutes. You can sit and watch the walls, or you could start writing. And sometimes they're pissed off. Like Tony Robbins does this. On his first days, he'll swear at you. He'll like do things that piss people off. And you'll notice people don't come back the next day because they're like, I thought he was so great and blah, blah, blah. And all he did was like make me angry and push all my buttons. When you go back the next day, sorry, Tony Robbins, to tell them this, but you go back the next day and he goes, so look around you and see who's not here. Those are the people who are not ready to look into the holes. And he goes, they're not ready, so they're going to waste everybody's time. The people in the room right now are the ones who are ready to move forward. It gives me chills to just be back in those rooms with him. And that's the truth. If you're not willing to see what that negative stuff is that's impacting you, you're not ready, and that's okay. No is a perfectly fine answer. But if you are ready to dig a little deeper, watch more of these episodes. Write down all those negative things, because then I would say, and then after the 10 minutes, then I'd be like, okay, write the opposite, right? So if it was, the negative was I'm fat grandma. We've been there. I'm fat grandma. And then they'd say, I don't want to be fat grandma, right? Yeah. Well, that's not the positive of it. That's just like putting a little lipstick on that. So, but what do you really want? To not be fat grandma? No. That's not what we want. We want to be vibrant and feel good. And if we have grandchildren, we want to play with them on the floor and not be like, sorry, but grandma needs someone to help me stand up. Or not be grouchy or tired or just feel wrong in our bodies. Like, that's where I was. Fat grandma was the encapsulation of how I was feeling. So it was the words I expressed. I don't care if I'm fat, if I felt good, but I didn't. So instead, it's not, I don't want to be fat grandma. It's, I want to be vibrant. So, but people have trouble making that leap. Like, we're just not trained. So back to that day where you were watching me with that horrified look. Thank goodness she did that, right? Because I saw that look, decided I can't talk like that around her. And now it's funny because growing up, I hope I did a better job than I was on the route to do anyways. But lately, you working with me, like, you can't say that. Don't put that out there.
Yeah.
Because your generation is so much more in tune with that kind of stuff, I feel, than the most of us are. But you'll say, like, don't put that energy out there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what did I even say?
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Hey, right. We love these movies that we'll be quoting. In fact, if you know what movie that is, tell us, because we'd like to connect with you on that. I quoted another one of our favorites last episode. So if you knew what I said there, what did I say?
You said the movie.
Oh, did I? Yeah. Oh, I wrecked it. Well, if you watched it, comment anyways. So, but anyways, having these moments of reflection, that face that she put on, that was a wake-up call for me. You got wake-up calls, I know you do. They just probably won't be the same as what ours were. But always remember what you're saying about yourself. Other people are listening, and we're always teaching people how we want to be treated. So if I had kept on that, and my daughter had said, well, Mom, you've always been fat, I would have trained that in her. She didn't just pick that up by herself. But I was on the route to having her say those things or think those things about me. But the truth is, we were talking before this episode, when I had gained 50 pounds, you didn't even notice?
No, not really until, like, I was looking back. Well, that may, like, it may also be because, like, I was in, no, that's when you started it. Yeah, but I'm also with you every day. But
well,
then looking
then.
back,
you were at school.
When you started your program and started losing it. But, like, looking back at photos from even my freshman year of college, I was like, I don't remember her looking like that.
Yeah. So what a beautiful thing that wasn't what I led with. And it could have been. It was what I was leading with when you were tiny.
Yeah.
I think we were 5 or something. So, but that's not to say that we can't fix things no matter where we are. If we had just discovered it today that she was saying things that I'm like, don't say that to me. I got to remember where she learned it. And if I was tolerating that kind of conversation for all your life, it should be no surprise when they come up with stuff like this. But I can also say, you know what, that hurts my feelings. Can you just consider not saying it to me in that way? Like, I realize that everybody's body's different, but I'm happy. If I'm not happy, I'd be like, thank you for saying that, because you're my reminder today. I'm going to eat as healthy as I can. I'm not going to do things that hurt me, because I don't want you to say stuff like that about me. That hurts my feelings. And sometimes these are hard conversations, but we still have hard conversations about not this, but about all kinds of other things. So I want to welcome you into a world where you can, not with spite. If I was so pissed off with her that I finally said something, you know how that's going down. Not good, because I'm saying all the wrong things, because I'm not coming through my heart. I'm coming through my ego, which is like, you piss me off. Stop being like that. But if I could hit it when it hits my heart, and I'm like, hey, that hurts my feelings. Like, why would you say something like that? And you're like, well, you always say that about yourself. Kids will be transparent. It's not always easy, but then it gives me the opportunity to speak from my heart and then even discuss the reality. I'm a human being. Like, if you say mean things to me and I don't say, hey, that kind of hurt my feelings, like, what's that all about? And you'd be like, well, you pissed me off when you asked me to do the dishes. Like your brother gets like that, and I'm always thankful, because at least he tells me what he's mad about. So I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta back off. Okay. But give yourself these opportunities to have these deeper connections with the people that you love. When they give you honesty and it's done in a way that you don't love, that's the best they got right now. But we can always say, like, hey, could you say that in a gentler way, or before you get mad about it? We can kind of like think about these positive things. And if you know I'm not fat grandma, I want to be vibrant and healthy, then I don't want to do things that make me into what I don't want anymore. Be more congruent with the things you do. And a lot of that is mindset and how people speak to us, but how we listen and hear it. Yeah, because I talked about that in an episode too, about my husband just has a deep voice. Sometimes he speaks and it triggers me from my childhood when my father had that mean voice, and he was being mean. So, but just understand everybody's doing their best. Sometimes they're sick and they're tired, and they don't know any better.
Yeah.
So, so just, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Sometimes we just got to get a little deeper, and we still have some laughs and have some good times on it. When we try to push the
easy
button that I just pushed.
You have to actually push it.
Yeah, well, I can't. I'm reaching over the mic and everything. It's complicated. She's holding it up for me. It's okay. And dropping it.
I dropped it.
So
mic drop.
Mic drop. Easy button drop. So thank you for joining us for another episode. Submit your questions. Get on correspondence with us. We're on all the social media. I really only personally live on Facebook. So if you want to reach out to us, follow us on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on all the things. I also have 24 hours a day. So my choice is Facebook. But I love answering your questions. We want to dig deeper with you and find out what you really need to support you in your life. So give us an opportunity to do that. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on the Thrive Beyond Weight Loss podcast belong solely to the host and guest speakers and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any associated organizations or health professionals. The content provided is for informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider with any questions regarding a medical condition or health objectives.